Hello friends, as I promised in one of my YouTube video that we will be recording some live sessions where we will be answering to your questions. A lot of people reach out on YouTube comment sections, their queries about their career or any sort of tools, technologies, anything that's bothering them, and we will try to respond to them. It is one way that we will be able to communicate with the community, inform people about the changes in the technology or anything that's confusing them they are concerned about. So if you are in such category, you can post your questions. We will try to respond on a frequent basis. Let's take first question. This is from Nilav Sen. He says, hello sir, out of DevOps and AI/ML, which one has better future? I am a senior IT employee having 16 years of total experience. Which one should be right choice for me? Please suggest. So it depends. My first primary objective usually is that whatever experience you have in your career, that should not be wasted. So if you have 16 years of experience, just try to identify which category of experience that falls into. If that has nothing to do with AI/ML, there's no point switching in that direction right away. And obviously AI/ML is such area which pretty much everybody will have to pivot at some stage. Even we are exploring such options, we are learning ourselves, myself, Saurabh. But that doesn't mean that you pivot your entire experience and everything into AI/ML. If you are a developer, test automation, there is still gas in the DevOps and cloud space. So make use of your previous experience, correlate it to what you should be learning in DevOps and cloud. Even if you move to AI/ML in future, the knowledge that you gain from DevOps and cloud practices is not going to be wasted. For example, all these AI models going to be deployed on any cloud. They're going to be using some sort of DevOps, some sort of automation, because these models will need massive compute underneath to run them. So DevOps and cloud is going to be still relevant. So yes, the short answer is that even if you try to get into AI/ML, make sure that your DevOps and cloud concepts hands-on is quite good before you do AI/ML. Please, I'm confused. So, Namandi, I am not able to read your name. Sorry, it's asked 12 hours ago. Please, I'm confused on Google deep dive into Azure DevOps or Azure Cloud Computing. Again, your question is also not very clear. I am confused on going deep dive into Azure DevOps or Azure Cloud Computing. All right, I got it. So he's confused between whether he should be exploring Azure DevOps or Azure Cloud Computing. Azure DevOps is some sort of automation platform where you are building applications, deploying applications. That is, as an individual product, is not enough, I would say, to survive the entire DevOps and cloud landscape. So you should look at Azure Cloud Computing as your core skill set, I would suggest, and add Azure DevOps as one of the product in that. So you, when you are building infrastructure, say from Terraform or deploying applications to Kubernetes platform in Azure, make use of Azure DevOps. That is a good combination. So short answer, you have to learn both. Focus more on the cloud computing and less on the Azure DevOps, because Azure DevOps is quite replaceable product with GitLab, GitHub Actions, and even Microsoft may have more focus on making their GitHub Actions as a better product than Azure DevOps. A lot of questions around the PDFs that we have created. We have basically created some use cases which shorten your Git and Linux learning to Git maybe 2-3 days and Linux maybe a week. So those documents people keep asking because those shorts are slightly viral. So those links are always available in our Telegram groups. So those are in our Telegram groups, and the link is always in our videos description text. You can go and check in the history. Those documents are there in the group. Then there is next question from user name. Hi sir, can you please explain me one thing? I am 2024 electronics engineering student. Now I am learning AWS and DevOps. If I learn basic of AWS and DevOps, can I get job at any company? And my thought is get a join in AWS DevOps role and make deep knowledge in that. Is it correct? Please reply to all my questions. It's a good thing you are a student and trying to learn DevOps and cloud. Commendable, because people I have seen struggling to pass their exams and struggle in their basic learning itself. Uh, can you get a job? There is a good chance that if you have deep understanding, if you have built right projects, you might be able to get into a job. But regardless of whether you have to struggle a bit over the next few, because you are uh, gonna be passing in 2024, uh, that means it's a bit of a shaky time. The market is going through a bit of slowdown, but that should not stop you from learning. This is still a strong hot tools and technologies that you are learning, and fingers crossed. And if you learn it better, why I'm not saying committing that a job is readily available for you, because it may hamper your learning speed and the progress that you are making. Second, no one can commit that. We never, in any of our mentorship program or projects, we never say that this basic learning is enough, because you usually are competing against a lot of experienced people in this area. There are always less number of jobs for freshers and at entry level. You may get hired as a Java developer, or any of the full stack developer kind of role, and then you can build into DevOps and cloud in future as well. So it's not to demotivate you, but even if there is struggle, make sure that you have more than one skills under your armor. So you, when some campus placements are happening or anything, you can apply it from multiple roles. How do I go about learning cloud engineering? What to start with and resources if possible? So Daniel has this question. Uh, See, there is no shortage of cloud computing resources on YouTube and other sources. The typical we have created a roadmap video where we suggest that you can learn basic from anywhere. There's YouTube available. There are so many channels and things to talk about basic stuff. So you can cover your basic concepts, follow a typical roadmap, watch one of our roadmap video, and learn basic of those tools first, and then try to create some complex project using those tools. That is the best way to learn cloud or any such resources. That will expose you to sort of real use cases that are used in the industry, and you can then maybe get into certifications and add those additional skills. So basic learning, projects, certifications is probably the right way to go. You can always switch between certifications and project. You can do certifications before, but I would still suggest do certifications towards the end, uh, after you have spent some time on those technologies. Gautam has question. He wants to switch his domain from to DevOps. He is a VMware and Linux administrator. Package is above 20 LPA in Indian context. Can I switch my domain? I have prepared enough for DevOps interview. Can I get more than this package? Of course, 20 lakhs per annum at reasonable experiences can be beaten easily with DevOps and cloud skills. VMware and Linux administration, I know it's also a sort of niche area in the VMware space. So you are getting good salary there. That's fine, but especially in DevOps cloud space, you can beat it quite easily. So it all depends how many years of experience you bring. Are you ready for a cloud architect kind of role? You said you have prepared enough, but there's no definition of enough. Sometimes a lot, many months wasting or spending on wrong tools, wrong DevOps practices can give you a false confidence. So you can always take up mock interviews with us and assess your skill set. Uh, but at the same time, you can start applying if you think you are prepared, and just test the water, test the market. Okay. There is a question: tips you want to give to the ones who are trying to get a remote job without experience. So remote or no remote is not so like is not the keyword here. It says no experience, right? So even if you get into a job, you know, clear the interviews somehow without any experience. I'm not sure the definition of no experience here. I'm assuming the person has not done the right projects, the right learnings and courses are not completed, and like first of all, it will, even if you get into a remote job, you will struggle at the interview level. Even if you clear the interview, then at the job itself you will be struggling because the expectations would be high from a remote engineer, that they, because they are not in the office, and it would be expected that they will be able to learn and deliver the project on timely basis. So gonna be a bit of challenge. Focus less on the remote jobs aspect. Focus more on getting right experience, right projects under your belt. Then you can easily justify whether you get a remote job or an in-person job anywhere. uh, Panidhar has question: I have 9 years of experience and can I switch my technologies to DevOps? So 9 years of experience,